I guess we'll just jump right into it. Basically, this category is going to involve doing every stage, getting every Megazord, which basically means playing through the game twice using a password system because there are no save datas. So we're basically going to run through the game on the first half of the stages, defeat the final boss, reset, put in a password, and then do it all over again, but the other half. With a twist in that we're only allowed to use the Wild Force Megazord, which means we're very underpowered, so it just takes a little longer. But it's pretty cool. So we're going to get started, and for it, we just run on easy difficulty. So we're going to start in 3, 2, 1, go. So,
good luck.
By the way, if you see me bump into any enemies or into walls, go ahead and put a bonk in the chat, because that's what we do. It happens a lot.
I love that.
Yeah, the movement's a little quirky because obviously it's on a Game Boy and there's no sprint button. You have to double tap D-pad. So sometimes you see me just walking around. It's because double tapping's hard. So the objective is basically to move through each stage. If you've never played this game before, there's a map I just pulled up with the select button. And the yellow box is our current stage, or room that we're in. The objective is to defeat the number of enemies at the top before you're able to move on to the next room. So optimally, we want to be already heading... Oops, I'm out of special. Optimally, we already want to be heading in the direction of the next room by the time it spawns open, which is what we're doing here. Obviously, we have red health bar, yellow is for a special, and you can punch and kick, and that's really cool because that's what the Power Rangers do. But you have a special attack that uses the yellow meter that is just more powerful. So we want to use that instead. I need that invincibility, please. Invincibility is really good because it means we don't spend special. We also don't take damage, but we don't spend the special meter to do attacks. So it means we can just do a bunch, and it's great. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the room. I have the map pulled up. Keep closing it. Fine. We don't need a map. Alright, so Fumigated Org is usually pretty easy, unless he bends over and blows smog in your face, and then it sucks. So, jump. Enemies like to block, and when they do, they like to block for a long time. So sometimes if you just mash a button, they'll just block you indefinitely. So you kind of have to wait and then try not to get punched. I jumped there because often if you stop hitting, skip the cutscene, they will hit you, and you don't want that. So I jumped to get out of the way. And that's how good. All the CPUs did nothing because I'm playing single player. This game has multiplayer, and I've sadly never gotten to play it. Because you need people with Game Boys and friends with Game Boys.
Yeah, that's fair restriction, I guess.
Alright, Fume. I'm gonna play that game. So, the combat is... That's bad. The combat is pretty much the same. You have a punch, and you have a special, and then you can block. Unlike the Rangers, they can block in the Megazord. So we want to block any of his attacks that come in and not get hit optimally, which I did a lot, which is bad. That's fine. And try to take them out. Now, some of the fights later, as you'll see, we want to sometimes fail that little combo attack that happens. In some cases, the animation where they step back there and charge up their finisher takes too long, so we want to fail those sometimes. So in the next fight, we're actually going to fail a combo and then do a finish to optimally degrade their hit points. You'll also notice that we're running as Yellow Ranger, and that is because she is the fastest until we get Merrick, the Silver Ranger. Even though the stat page says the Blue Ranger is the fastest, and Yellow Ranger has the best jump stat, which really does nothing in this game, she is actually fractionally faster. So, unintentional speed, no clue. But Yellow Ranger needs some rep, you know? I think in every season where there's a Yellow Ranger, they don't get a lot of love. So, kind of glad they get to show off a bit in a speedrun. At least for a bit. I'm getting in the groove now.
No, you're fine.
So yeah, this is pretty much the run. We get through the stages, fight a boss, and then we fight their gigantic form, because that's how every episode ends, which is, honestly, it's the thing I love and hate the most about Power Rangers, is it's predictable in that, oh, they're going to fight the guy, he's going to blow up, and then they're going to get real big. because that's the formula. It's the monster of the week. But also, the Megazords are always really cool, especially in this season. Very customizable. They had a lot of different animals, and they all fused together in different combinations. And while it's not my favorite season anymore, having completely caught up on every Power Ranger season, pretty much, it is definitely that's good. It got a special place in my heart. So, I, unlike you, was allowed to watch Power Rangers. Mainly because my parents didn't care.
I'm so sad. I always wanted to, and like all my friends could watch it, and I just wasn't allowed, and I was bitter. I was bitter about it.
It was a pretty big topic back then. People were like, "Oh, there's all this violence and punching and fighting and stuff," but like, there's also a lot of good stuff in the show, morals wise, I think. Yeah. So this
it's really funny because someone told me to imitate Rita Repulsa for a role I was doing once. It's like, I never saw Power Rangers. I'm so sorry.
Make my monster grow. I couldn't never even replicate that voice. There we go. So that one we failed because if we do 2 of the full finisher attacks, it just wastes a little bit of time. And yeah, it's just it's a balance between doing the optimal damage to defeat them in the least amount of combos, but also not like giving them opportunities to punch you in the face. So I mentioned we're running as Yellow Ranger. Every stage it increments which Ranger it wants you to play as, so we have to toggle back. Next stage you'll have to toggle back a few times to be able to select Yellow Ranger, and we're gonna play as Yellow Ranger until after the harbor, because that's when Merritt shows up. He decides, hey, I'm gonna help the Rangers out. I wanted to grab that power up. And Merrick is the best Ranger in the game because he's the silver and he plays with a pole cue. But no, he's actually just the fastest. His special comes out pretty fast. He's just good. So we select him for the rest of the run. Well, I say for the rest of the run. Being that this is a password game, when we do the other half, you would think that all the Megazords and the Rangers would carry over, and the Zords do, but the Rangers don't. So we lose Merrick for another, like, 5 stages, which is unfortunate. But then we get to show off Yellow Ranger again, which is great. One thing I'm also going to get to show off is potentially viable new strats. So there's another mechanic that I haven't shown off yet, which is the L button. The L button actually, if you look on the screen here with the map, there are different icons with Rangers on them. That's our teammates we chose for the battle, or for the stage. And basically when you press the combo attack button, they do like a cool maneuver. So they all vary. Red Ranger drags them across the ground, Blue Ranger shoots an orb, Black Ranger picks you up and throws you at the enemy because he's the bull and he's strong. And then a few others like that. But they're not really optimal to use in most cases. However, I've been practicing some stuff, and Red Rangers and Blue Rangers specials are relatively usable, as for the most part, they're kind of safe on some bosses to use. Also, Jindrax is notoriously the only character in this game who actually fights to win. The rest of the enemies, this is really bad. The rest of the enemies kind of just do dumb GBA AI stuff where they just stand around and be predictable. You're going to see Jindrax, who's probably my favorite character, or rather villain from the show, from this season, I mean. You're going to see him do a lot of bobbing and weaving and guarding and moving back and being really, really obnoxious. It's what he does. If every boss was programmed to like him, this game would be perfect. See what I mean? He's just smart. He just plays smart. You see him backing up. He just plays smart. It's the run killer. We call him the run killer. I don't know why I let him hit me, because I'm probably flustered at how Jindrax is the run killer. He can be very obnoxious. I've had him legitimately kill me in a real attempt, which is kind of hard on easy mode. But as you see, we kind of trade blows a lot, and it's very obnoxious. Okay, he's dead now, until we fight him again. That's another really sad thing, actually, with this game is on the second playthrough, the bosses don't change even though you're on different stages. They're just the same bosses on the opposite stage, just a different level layout. And I assume that was GBA limitations and or laziness. Oof. This fight right here, forklift is the bane of my existence. You'll see why. What does a forklift do?
It lifts. It lifts.
So that's what forklift does to us. He likes to lift us, and I mentioned how Gendrax was the only smart AI, and I lied, kind of, because he's not so bad in the Megazord fight. But he is bad in the small fight, because he's very good at blocking and taking no damage, and then when you try to stop, maybe get a good angle on him, what have you, he'll just lift you, and when he lifts you, he throws you across the map, and that's a time loss. It's not fun. Which is one of the reasons we started messing with some of the combo attack strategies, where we don't normally use them, but they kind of create a slight opening. I'm gonna maybe try it, but I'll probably chicken out right at the last second, because, I don't know, safety. So, you didn't really get to watch Power Rangers growing up, but you could. I'm gonna advertise for the show. New season comes out, I think this month. Wait, no, is it September yet? No, it's the 31st. In September. And I'm pretty stoked for Cosmic Fury, actually.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. It is, maybe I'm wrong on the year count. I think it's like 20 years since we've had a third season where the cast rotated into another season, because normally they're like one or two, and then they, it's a new Sentai footage, they hire new actors, and it's a new season kind of thing. But this is most, if not all, of the same cast, if I'm not mistaken, from the last series, Dino Fury? Yeah, Dino Fury. I had a question mark there because I actually haven't watched Dino Fury yet. I was waiting until Cosmic Fury was about to come out, and then I could binge it. And that way I didn't have to wait too terribly long before the new season comes out. But yeah, you should check it out. It's supposed to be looking pretty good.
I already want to go back and watch the old Power Rangers, so this just makes me excited to watch even new stuff too.
Yeah, that's why I went back here recently this past year. I'd watched a good handful of seasons over the years, but I hadn't seen every season, notably some of the really good ones. And I recently went back and watched every single episode and every movie.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, barring Dino Fury and the unreleased Cosmic Fury. Okay, I'm gonna see what I mean. Oh, no. Get out of here. I hate this one.
You're being spicy.
Yeah, he's being spicy. So after about half health, he stands up and he's much more susceptible to being knocked down. But for the first part, if you time it wrong, it's got to get a little lucky. It's pretty hard. Go real low. That's for Chris. Chris, if you're in the chat, that was for you. He's been playing Kingdom Hearts and despises Clayton from the Jungle Book. And Clayton says, go real low. So, anyways, there's Silver Ranger. Yay! So he's on our team, at least for a little bit. And we're still using Wild Force Megazord, even though we've got these really cool Zord combos we could be doing. So he's not so bad here. Here's the first one where we're going to do 2 full finishers because he just has more defense. So we're going to back off a little. We're going to shoot whatever it's called. Block that box. Here's the question though. Where are these boxes coming from?
They're just coming from the sky.
It made
randomly.
sense in the warehouse, but is Toxica catapulting boxes into the sky and then making them grow for ammo?
I hope so.
That's got to be what's happening. Nice. All right, cool. The forklift's done. That is probably the stage fight's the most hard. The next stage is also kind of relatively hard because Corkscrew is that guy. Big yellow dummy. All right, so instead of poor White Ranger, we're going to do Silver because he's fast. And you'll notice, right away. Oop. Unless I start bumping all over things. I'm not looking at chat, but I hope there are some bongs in chat.
You love a good bong.
It's the best and worst part about this game. So this is the fight that is semi-viable, rather the boss at the end of the stages. This is really the first one I've considered kind of viable to use the specials on, in that we can kind of get away. He does this thing where he summons these little screw tops, and obviously if you touch them you take damage, and you don't want that. Less for the damage and more for the getting knocked down and losing time. But he starts summoning these, and it's kind of, if you let up or push him too hard, he'll start doing them, and it's just really hard to deal with. So some of these attacks allow us to get in there without, I should have grabbed that invincibility, without taking a whole lot of damage and wasting all the time. So I'm going to try to make it a smooth corkscrew, and then see where we go. Let me know if I'm talking too much. I think I'm just trying to...
You are... I love hearing about this game. I love that you're telling me things about it.
Okay.
You are not talking too much.
Okay. I just feel like I'm just nervously blabbering about...
No, this is all like, this is really cool information. Like, I super appreciate it. It's one of my favorite things about Hotfix is actually getting a chance to hear about the games and the different things with it. So no, you are perfectly fine.
Thank you. Yeah, so we are near the end of the stage. Another issue with the bonking on walls is if you run towards a door, you'll notice that I'm kind of, maybe you don't notice, but because it might be hard to tell, but there's a moment where if you run to a doorway that you should be able to pass through and it's opened, if you aren't angled properly, you'll just bonk on the doorway. So a lot of times what we're doing is running and then sort of letting go and then pressing to walk again, so he's still moving. He kind of skitters to a stop, or to where he slows down. So a lot of it's sort of managing, you know, when we're double tapping, if we're getting close to a door, we want to like let go but still be moving towards it, and then also just kind of trying to be there right as it opens up, so it's not wasted time. All right, so this is where we're gonna do a little thing with Red Ranger that is slightly unpracticed, but I think it'll be fine. Oh, okay, that's fine. You see what I mean? He's very obnoxious with these blades, and I just need to hit him just the one time, please. There we go. Anyways, it's pretty rough. That was almost pretty good. I think I just mistimed the hit. It's really kind of interesting how this little Game Boy game, they really planned for players that mash buttons. I'm not pressing the A button. That mash buttons, and they're like, okay, well, if they're doing that, make sure they're blocking, so that way the boss seems like he's fighting back, which is good. But not for us. All right, so here's one we're gonna mix it up a little. I've been using this saber for the most part, and that's because it does more damage than the punch, and it kind of spaces out the damage in just the right way. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna do 2 of these saber finishes, so we line up our damage. But the punches are just ever so slightly faster. So we're going to do 2 of those saber finishes. And then we're going to do what I call a punch finish. It's the same finish, but the combo leading up is comprised of punches or sabers. So let's see how much faster the punches come out. As long as he doesn't throw tops, please. Oh. Ooh, corkscrew. You could say he's screwing me over.
I love it here.
You see that the punch comes out pretty quick. It's all right. We get a round 2 next playthrough, so it's fine. All right, so next up, oof, already a Toxic. This next stage is pretty cool, and also really weird. And also, this might be a good point to mention that all of these minor orgs, with the exception of Jindrax and Toxica, whom we're about to fight in this level, aren't in the show. as far as I am aware and can recall, maybe in the Sentai counterpart, maybe not, probably not. They're made up for this game, so yeah, you won't see them in the show. Unless I just somehow slept through an episode. I'm fairly certain none of them are in the show. But this stage is cool. It's a little temple ruins, and this looks kind of, Jones-esque. Except here in a moment, you're going to notice something really weird, and that I just don't know how they rationalized. I don't know why I'm going this way. Whoops. That was a me letting go of the room, or of the D-pad. So far, right? Torches, you got fire, you got rocks, I don't even know how to describe terrain. But then you have a basketball court. At least I think this is a basketball court.
Surprise!
This is supposed to be on the Animarium, right? The island where all the Zords are, and all the lore and stuff. But like, why is there a ruin with a basketball court? I think next to a catacomb, a tomb. Like, look at these. They got dead bodies next to the court. I don't understand.
It's just a standard basketball experience.
Yeah. But yeah. It's a really nice stage. I like the song here. Oh, there's another invincibility I missed. The invincibility is really nice because again, you don't use special. So if I can run into it along the way, it's really nice, and not run into that pillar. Pillar? Not really a pillar. It's a cool. But yeah, this is a really cool stage. I like it a lot.
I know, like, beside the bonking, obviously, it does seem, at least to me and probably the viewers, that the movement is pretty fluid for this game. Is that actually how it is, or is it?
I mean, yeah, there's not like a lot of like weird choppiness. The game has a lot of. If we're talking about the appeal or the visual of like how it looks frame wise.
Yeah, it looks really smooth.
Yeah, it's smooth. I don't know. I think they just, as far as the Game Boy game goes, there's a lot of Game Boy games that like they just look really, really good for being on a Game Boy.
Yeah.
Like they just take some extra care with making sure they're outputting the right kind of frames to make things look smooth. This isn't. No, Toxica. There we go. She's the one person we can actually just put up against a wall and beat her to death. Because she doesn't react like the others. It's really weird. Which it makes me think that they really like crafted, I hate to use the term AI, but like the enemy AI like individually, because they don't all feel like they're running on the same like strategies, if that makes sense.
Yeah, which is really cool.
Toxica, why did you do this to me on live TV?
Please.
So this is a fight where we kind of have a bit of a variance. We can either do 3 saber finishes, or if she blocks a bunch, we can do a final punch finisher, which will be slightly faster. And that's just dependent on whether or not she wants to. I'm baiting her. I'm punching her to like make her walk closer to me. That's an opening. She hasn't really blocked a whole lot. I'm pretty sure it's like 6 to 8 times if she blocks a saber hit. She still takes a little bit of damage. We don't gain special, but she takes a little bit of damage. And if she blocks like 6 to 8 of them, we can go ahead and do a punch combo because it's slightly faster and the damage we need has already been done from having done all the extra stuff. So hope I didn't mess that up. I'm pretty sure that was good. I'm 90% certain this is good. Please die. Please. Okay. It was like sometimes it's like this much, just a one punch away.
Oh god!
And then you're like, and you just run up and punch them, and then they do a second finisher. So here is the final stage, which is not really the final stage. We do the final stage because we kind of ruled, I guess, in discussion about like what the timing should be. As normally, if you were doing 100% in the game, you would have to defeat Master Org to get the last code, which would let you restart the game with all of the stuff you've already done completed, so you can replay the stages. So we do the fight. It goes hopefully well. As soon as that code pops up on screen, I'm going to reset my Game Boy, my quote Game Boy. And then we're going to go off to the password screen and put in a fancy password that will let us start over with the stuff we've already acquired, because there is no save data in this old Game Boy that use passwords. I kind of miss it, honestly. In a way, it's unique, you know, because then you could just kind of brute force a password and get like an outcome you didn't expect.
Yeah, I always kind of liked when you finished a stage of a game and you got like the character faces as the password, and then you can go and try to guess ones and find places you never found before.
So, fun fact, actually, the password we use is a password you can get, but the one we get from this particular route, specifically, one letter we change, it results in the same exact stage setup. Password is T59MM. I have the notes up here. The game tells you MC, but if you put in MM, it's the exact same outcome, all the same stages, all the same Zords. It's just faster to type because you don't have to scroll to see. So it's pretty quirky. Found it out by accident, and it's pretty great.
It's really interesting.
Yeah. But also there were Game Boy games that had like save data. So I don't know. It's like, I wonder what the exact decision is in game development, or at least was then, that said, you know what, we don't want to pay for a cart with a battery in it, or I guess cost is really the answer, yeah.
Maybe, yeah. They're just like, just give them a code.
Yeah, or but maybe it's really early game. I don't know. Silver. I really like this Silver Ranger, and he's got like a cool blue. Well, now he's got invincibility colors on, but he's got silver and blue and like yellow accent. Just very cool color combination. I like it. Having not watched pretty much, I'm assuming, any Power Rangers, do you have a favorite color of Ranger that you've ever seen that you're like, oh, that looks really cool?
I'll be honest, I was one of the people who was just like, I like Pink Ranger. They seem neat. And yellow for some reason, which is interesting because I don't typically like the color yellow, but for some reason, the Yellow Ranger always appealed to me, even though I knew nothing about them.
I can say that in the majority of seasons, the Yellow Ranger is probably the coolest character in a lot of seasons. I'm trying to think of RPM specifically. Yellow Ranger's really cool. Yellow Ranger in this one's pretty cool too. They're always like this nice, really cool, or not nice, sometimes they're mean, but like they're a really cool character, like character-wise, how they're written, their interests and such. So Yellow Ranger usually is a really cool character. That doesn't get, I think, nearly enough screen time. What is Dino Thunder? Kira, I think. She was like a guitarist. I think her name's Kira. I'm really bad with names. I'll be like, yeah, that's that Ranger, and I'll know their outfit, and I'll know their color, and like I'll recognize them by voice, but it's like, oh, what's their name? It's almost like there's like 16 seasons of this franchise, and hard to remember. All right, please. All right, hold on, I need to grab. Yes, that was near perfect. I think that's pretty much perfect,
yeah.
Masterwork. Get him into the corner. They do weird things with walls. So if you're near a wall, sometimes they get stuck and don't react as well, which is what we want. Skipping all the cool cutscenes. Not using any of the Megazords. All right. Master Org, just straight up, we do 3 saber finishes. He likes to spam this, though, which builds his special up really fast, which we have to block all of that. All right, we got one done. Okay.
The designs of these guys are real neat, too.
They really are. I'm fairly certain they used the Donkey Kong technique where they like made a cruddy little model and then like pixelated it and like sprited it out, basically, like where they just positioned it, keyframed it all, because it almost looks 3D in a way, you know. So
yeah, it looks really nice.
That's what
I'm just really surprised at how good this game. Like, not that I expected not to, but it just looks really good.
Yeah, it really does. He's got one of the coolest designs, I think, Master Org. So he's now dead, and normally we would just end the run, but we're doing 100%. So when that code comes up, I'm going to not drop my controller. I'm going to restart. Beautiful. Oh, love that sound. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And we're going to use a password to play the rest because that's how you have to do it. So. The other half is actually usually really, really interesting because by this point you have some of the best Megazords unlocked. Talking about Wild Force Striker Zord, Conga Striker Zord are really cool and powerful, but you can't use them in this run because we're restricting ourselves for the challenge. The good news is, however, the bosses are the same strategy, so they're not any tougher. So we don't like get increasingly difficult. I mean, aside from stage progression. So, and we get to see some new stages. Some of the stages are repeated, like this one. We obviously did this one first, but the next stage is going to be the park. Yeah, it's park, where we didn't go to the first time. And I think park is one of the coolest stages because it has a lot of nice looking zones that we don't get to see, but we get to see some of them. And I like park.
And there's basketball court. But it actually, like, a place where a sports ball court makes sense.
Yeah, this basketball court, at least, well, so there's not a net in the temple ruins. So maybe it's not, what other?
Yeah, but kind of maybe soccer?
Maybe the goals are the doorways, because we go through that.
Yeah.
Maybe. Invincibility. The thing with invincibility, though, is if you don't have enough special to use the attack, you can't use it even though you have unlimited special. So you have to kind of get your special up a little bit before you can use it. And it's really nice for rooms like these when we want to just blitz through enemies and not worry about, well, that's me whiffing. It even makes a whiff sound, so, you know. All right. I will cover this town in car fumes because that is what a villain does.
Yeah, no, for sure. The evilest of plans. Smog.
Fine. I just, Fumigator Org is, just, you know, it's my bane today. Yeah, we get to skip that cool cutscene where they blow the enemy up by combining their weapons. Alright. Wild Force again. But again, difficulty is not raised, so we can just over here and get hit by him. Saber him in the face, and he's good. It's really fun because the best Megazord in the game, if you just run up to this particular boss with that Megazord, with the Conga Striker, it will, by the time you get to the little A button combo thing, the boss's health bar is already depleted. It's that powerful. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so the normal 100% is really, really fun. Not that this isn't, I like the challenge, but the normal 100% is like, the second half is just a breeze. You just go in and beat the crap out of bosses. It's great. Yeah, so this place has a lot of like different paths you can take. It looks pretty simple, but like you can pretty much transition from any of the stages or any of these 4 rooms. Hello, there we go. Into the next one. But we take a relatively straightforward path, which cuts right across there, as you saw, because it's faster. It has less enemies, and we want that. As much as playing this game is fun and beating the crap out of these orgs. I wanted to call them putties for a sec. That's wrong season. That's season 1. Yeah. I'm fairly certain, because I've never been able to play the multiplayer. I'm fairly certain the enemy kill count that you see at the end dictates. I'm pretty certain. Somebody please correct me. I'm pretty certain it dictates who controls the Megazord, or maybe you just choose. But obviously, if you're playing with friends, like you want to go fight all the rooms and see who can defeat the most enemies. Except when you're playing by yourself, because you don't have any friends. Or rather, all your friends don't have Game Boys. Like literally, who had the link cable? Does anybody?
I did not. I definitely didn't. I wanted it, but I didn't have it. But also, like, I had no friends. So like it wouldn't have mattered anyway.
Yeah, it's I remember the few instances where like we had Pokemon on DS and you no longer needed a link cable and you could just do stuff wirelessly. I remember that experience of playing a handheld game with somebody else in the room was just this super unique and weird experience for me.
It's wild how far we've come with like games in general. I say as someone who is quite old, it blows my mind.
It really is. It really is crazy. Because then I look at like how far we've come, but then I look at stuff like this where like I mentioned earlier. Well we messed up. That's fine. A little bit of time left. It's fine. We're just gonna do a punch combo because it's faster. A little bit of over damage, probably a few seconds of time loss. That's fine. Who's timing this? There's not a timer on screen, right?
No.
Okay, all right. I go into total panic mode if there's a timer on.
Oh yeah, totally no timer.
Yeah,
Never
awesome.
even heard of a timer in my life. I don't even know what time is.
What is time? So this stage right here is Turtle Dine Laboratory, the longest stage in the entire game. We have to visit every room. Which is kind of cool, but also kind of lame. There's a lot of these crisscrossing paths with bridges that you'll see in just a moment, and they have to be activated with switches in certain rooms. And basically, you just run through the stage relatively linearly, as linear as this wonky shape can be. So like this room here, we have to hit a switch here to activate a bridge in the next room. And it's really sad because this is the only stage that has this kind of mechanic where it's like you have to go to certain rooms and activate switches and look at me almost not doing that. Move on.
Move on.
Yeah. But if we came in here first, that bridge on the other side would not be here. And we'd have to go back. So we want to hit the switch first, obviously. Want to make sure you're doing optimal stuff, like not running into walls. And learning how to double tap your D-pad. Otherwise, you'll just walk. Please, please. Thank you very much. So now that's opened, as you saw the right path, little icon it gave there. We just run down here, and we go over here, and we're in another room. We're gonna find another switch that's just gonna lead us back to that other room, and so we can go left, up. Technically left, but I guess it is left up, never mind. That really throws me off sometimes when these older games are like, they use this isometric view, and left is left up. But in this game, left is left. You have to hold 2 buttons to go diagonally, which is normal, insane. But some games are like, left is left up. I'm trying to think of... Final Fantasy Tactics does that, I think.
I have definitely been thrown off by games that do that. I'm like, I don't know where I'm going.
My brain, please.
I don't understand.
Yeah, see, there's that switch over there. And unfortunately, we can't hit the switches until all the enemies are gone. Otherwise, we'd do that, and it would be probably faster to, like, linger by the door. That one's weird. Invincibility. Please. It might have been worth it had I not bonked on these things. Any amount of special we could save to not have to pick stuff up is nice. Okay, we got 2 kills out of that? 3 kills out of that? 4? Maybe 5? Nope, okay. It probably would have been better if I just skipped it because it does naturally regenerate. So sometimes it's really just if it's in the path you're running, you should pick it up. And I did a little wiggle maneuver to pick it up because I like the colors.
Very good.
This is another room where we have to go down. There's a switch there, and that'll activate the last path up. The last 2 rooms. Or last 1 room? I don't know where we're at. Please. Thank you. Where are the specials? There we go. One couple image. Sir. It's great. I loved it. Yay. Alright. second to last room, and then Jindrax again, who is just as difficult as the first time. He knows when you're streaming. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you... Why did he suddenly turn into Santa Claus? I don't know. But no, he's legit sentient. He's more sentient than Nightbot in my chat. Nightbot says some really strangely relevant stuff sometimes that makes me think they're an actual person behind the bot.
Like, wait a minute, are you real?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
It's really strange.
And then there's times where you find out that there are some bots that are real, and that sometimes there are actually people behind them, like Pup Time, and that blew my mind.
Ooh, almost perfect Jindrax. That was... I mean, it's fine. That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. Ooh. All right, I just got to remember we're doing a saber finish. So we're good. And now we have the best Megazord in the game and can't use it.
Oh no!
It uses the gorilla, the rhino, the armadillo, and the two bears. And it is the best thing in existence. I want one. Ginger, please. People are watching. Yeah, he can sometimes, if you time it right, if he moves out of the way, you can just swing again, and he will sometimes just walk into it. Sometimes he'll double back like he did there, and it's, you see, he's just smart. He knows. There we go. That wasn't too bad. He was playing nice.
I kind of like his colors.
He's like a jester kind of theme, I think. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Definitely recommend this as a starting season if you wanted to watch something older. Oh, I think I'm contractually obligated to spout out a fun fact that Ventus reminds me of. Ventus, if you're in chat, hello. He always reminds me that this is the last, was it non-Disney season, I think? Or was it the last Disney season? I can't remember. There was a big buyout thing, so like the whole vibe of Power Rangers changed after this season. Kind of. Not really, but kind of.
Huh.
I wish I would have fact-checked myself. Because I don't remember if it was a Disney season or not. He's probably in the chat now, being like, you idiot. You had one job.
No.
But yeah, no, it's a really good season. I highly recommend. The ending, I cried. I cried. It's such a cool ending. It's a very powerful, motivational, like really cool moment. I won't spoil it, but it's really good. If you know, you know. There we go. Yeesh. There we go. And some of it is counting actively because the counter doesn't go down immediately. They have to like fade into that puddle first. So it's like I have to count and know where we're at. And as soon as I know I've killed the last one, I need to be moving like I didn't there. You see that? I was showing a bad example so that way it's free time save for later. But I tell myself when it goes badly. I don't know, this run feels pretty good. It doesn't feel like I've totally ruined anything. Except for that mess up with Chainsaw, I think, where I did 2 finishers, but...
I think one of my favorite things about speedruns is like when you're running a game and you misstep or do something, it feels like, you know, you've messed something up or what have you. But when you're watching a speedrun, like literally, I wouldn't have even known.
Yeah, if I didn't tell you I was sucking, you'd be like, man, he's perfect.
Not sucking at all.
Yeah, what? No. I have a theme on my channel, and it's called choking during really good runs.
Oh God, yeah. I feel that.
it's bad. It's bad.
I did that multiple times on a game I run recently before finally finishing it, and it didn't feel good. So I feel you. Yeah.
I mean, it makes the times when you run perfectly a super dopamine hit. Like,
oh, it so does.
Hey,
I think there was one time in a stream, 3 times in one night, I choked at the very end of a run and lost it, and it was just like, oh, come on.
Yeah. Hey, this is my least favorite boss. Do you remember? What the forklift does?
He lifts.
Oh, I hate it. I really...
He will squash you with his load, flattening you like a pancake.
Yeah. Take that how you will. Please, please. Please.
Sir, please. Sir, absolutely not.
Sometimes he can be perfect. It's doable. It is 100% doable. Just not under any sort of pressure. Oh boy. It's fine. We're all good. Hey, I
kind of love him, even though he's a jerk and flips you.
Yeah.
But like, he's kind of charming.
Yeah,
to me.
in a way, yeah. I do like him. Let's go. Forklift. I mean, I think it's a cool monster, like design-wise.
Oh, for sure.
I would pay to have arms like that.
Right? You could flip so many things.
Yep. I wonder how he eats though. Like, he just like, we know it. And if he's texting somebody, he wouldn't send the table flip emote. He would just flip the table with like his camera propped up, take a picture of it. You know.
Oh my god, he would be perfect for table flipping. 10 out of 10, champion.
Nice. I was just suddenly reminded of, what is that movie with cows? With cow tipping.
I legitimately almost said Twister.
Not Twisters. Oh gosh. Hey, we've got Merrick back. Merrick was so cool, because like, in a lot of seasons, the new ranger, the 6th ranger, joins up and it's like buddy and hangs out and they're cool. But like, I mean, he wasn't like villainous for the most part. But like, he didn't hang out at their base. He worked at a bar and played pool all the time, which is why they rationalized him having a pool cue in his ranger form, because he played pool all the time. So his saber is actually a saber / pool cue. And like,
okay, that's cool.
God, I wanted a toy of it so much, because it retracts into the size of a saber, but you like push a thing through, I think, and it makes it the full length of a pole cue. I don't know if there was actually any actual toys of it, but I want one. It's just such a cool design. His big finisher attack is where he'd take the Megazord crystals and put them on like a digital pool table and would hit them like he would, like the opening shot of a pool game, and they would encircle the bad guy and blow him up. I don't know, it was really cool. Season's wild. Almost wild force, you might say.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I didn't mean to do that, sorry.
Absolute name drop.
Yeah, he's really cool. He's probably one of my favorite 6th Rangers, next to Time Force. Can we get a quantum power in chat? Am I allowed to address chat? Is that illegal?
Absolutely,
okay.
Yeah. You can address chat all you want.
I don't have it pulled up because I feel like I would read a funny comment and then the run would die.
Multiple people said cars when you mentioned cow tipping. Which...
Is it? Is it cars? Are there cows in cars? Yo.
I don't know.
I have to watch Cars again. I don't know. Are there animals in cars that aren't cars?
Are there anything other than cars in cars? I don't. I mean, I literally no idea.
There are planes, but I mean like vehicles, sentient vehicles. Are there anything other than sentient vehicles? Yo, time for a Cars rewatch. Speaking of Cars, RPM best season. I'll fight anyone. It really is good. It is the most like. It's just so cool. There's this whole episode where they break down all the dumb tropes that happen in Power Rangers. Like is he the Blue Ranger? He's the Scottish one, and he's like, why do we have to yell out the names of the something or other? Like, it's this whole episode where they break down all the really dumb stuff about Power Rangers, and it's great. It's like this love letter, like, yeah, Power Rangers is dumb, and they do that. It's honestly, scratch what I said about Wild Horse. Go watch RPM. It's way better. There's gonna be an RPM hater in chat. Like, what the heck?
I do see someone saying RPM is the best acted season easily.
I can agree with best acted. It is definitely very good. There's even a line. There's this bit because the Blue Ranger is this Scottish actor, I guess, or I don't know if he's. I think he's from New Zealand. I don't know if he's actually Scottish. Maybe he is, but he plays a Scottish character. And the bad girl, the villainess, is like talking about how all the Rangers they have their strengths and what they do best. And then she's like, "Who are you?" And he goes, "I'm Scottish." Legit, not even fake. He just says, "I'm Scottish." It's the best line ever. Please, no corkscrews. I might have to go watch RPM again. All right, we're doing 2 sabers and a punch. I have a notepad right here to remind myself because I forget. But like, it's just a notepad, so there's no like bold. It's just plain text. So I don't know what's what. I have to actively read what is wrong with me.
Oh my gosh, I have a run that I run that has notes, and I also didn't bold anything, so I'll just, who knows what's happening at any point in time. And I'm like, I should maybe format this at some point, but it worked.
I'm gonna call it out now because I'm sure Ventus is already clicking away in the chat. He's a really awesome person who's in my streams a lot. He would say that notes don't matter because I don't read them anyways, and that's why I choke on runs. So he said even if you, because there's this time I did this really long 12-hour run of an RPG, and there's like this spot where I mess something up every time. So I bolded it, I italicized, underlined, and raised the font like 4 times, and I still missed it.
Oh no!
And I lost a run because of that. And he's like, "So you don't even read your notes, so like, what bothers?" So, all right, we are finally coming up. This is the last new stage. Jungle's pretty cool. We used to run this in any percent, but then I found out that the Temple Ruins is just way faster for enemy count, and you fight Toxic either way, so it kind of doesn't matter. Except it does. You get a different Zord in Temple Ruins, but that's not the point. Wait, do you get it? You know what? I'm gonna stop quoting myself on my own knowledge of this game because I'm probably saying something wrong.
We definitely have verification in chat that you do not read notes. I repeat, you do not read notes.
Yep. Yep, I don't read notes. I don't. Well, I don't. Yeah. Mostly what is English language? Mostly what I run now is a lot of short stuff because, busy with work and stuff. So it's kind of hard to sit down for 12 hours at a time and commit to 90s text boxes and unskippable, unskippable cutscenes and all that stuff. This is nice though because this run is an hour. The 80%'s half an hour, so it's really short, really sweet to get into. There's not a whole lot of downtime, so it's just mostly gameplay, and it's nice. So if you're looking for a gameplay heavy game, this is it. Really short, to the point. Not hard to learn. It's hard to master, and then also corkscrew. So there's that. Ooh. Oh, bridge! I just want to cry. Every time I...
Bridge, no! Betrayed.
Yeah. To be honest, I've never fallen off that bridge. That's the first.
You know what? It's always the first time for something on Hotfix. Always.
I can't recall ever falling off that bridge. At least not in a dead sprint.
The bridge just wanted to show off that it does not have walls. It wanted to feel included, which honestly, good for it.
Yeah. So I always forget there are new enemies here. They kind of come in a few different variety of colors, but because we're on easy mode, because that's the most sensible way to run this game, don't play hard mode. It's actually hard. It really is. 2 full special bars of special attacks, and the boss wasn't even down in the normal stage. Yeah, they're like beefed up. And all the enemies take 2 of these hits to die to. It's pretty crazy. But no, I always forget that there are different enemies here because Toxica, please. Yes. Because we just killed them all in 1 hit. So. All right, we got the deer. We officially have all the crystals. Now we just need to run through the last stage and defeat the final boss. It'll be great.
Just a full array of animal crystals.
Yeah, and we don't get to use any of them. Ooh. Please. Toxica, please. That was really long. Did that seem like it? That took like forever for the Zord to back up. What was that? It's like some extra steps thrown in just to.
His feet just decided to do something a little special there.
Yeah. All right, no blocks, so we're gonna need to use a saber because a punch will not finish her. Well, it might, probably not. I don't like to risk it. Risky business is not good business. I was hoping for a 4, but Toxica, no! All right, we're good. And we're done. There we go. I almost missed that. The timing on those A button presses is really, really wide. As soon as there's like an orange reticle that comes up around the A button, and as soon as that's up, it's like free game. But anyways. All right. So on to the last stage. Timing ends when Big Master Org starts going boom. So we do have another Megazord fight to do. But this is the last stage, and it's a familiar one.
Cool.
The song is really nice. It's like jungle, but better. Dude, where you at? Oh, I'm gonna try to see if you can see there as a guy who, nope, not this map. There's a next map where there's a pool of water, and it doesn't kill him, he just respawns, but he might spawn high up on the area or on the map and fall through the water. In which case he just spawns again. There he is.
Buddy.
Yeah, he spawns and then I wish it would count as a kill, but they just fall through the map and then respawn somewhere else, I guess.
It would be cool if that counted as a kill.
Yeah, they're like, oh man, let me just always end up in that spot to make sure that one enemy is killed automatically, but well. All right. This is also another humanoid boss fight where using special with one of the rangers is probably good because we can get Master Org very quickly up against a wall, and then if we're good with our timing, we can just take him down pretty quickly. Oh shit. I have dreams about this song sometimes. It's very nice. I miss GBA font sounds. Like the music's nice. Oh, that's the wrong way, Beanz.
I just really love the level designs too. Like this is actually a really cool looking level.
Yeah, it is. It's the beautiful Animarium. Even though the island we've been on for 3 stages is technically called the Animarium, but this is, I guess, the main Animarium place. Hey, that's nice. But yeah, it's a nice place. I'm done here. Nope, I guess you're gonna. Okay, that's fine. Sirs. Hormans, I don't know. They're orgs. I don't know.
I'd say friends, but they're definitely not friends.
They're definitely not friends. Oh, that rock gets me like every other time. Another reason jumping's pretty good sometimes. It doesn't really do a lot for your movement, but if you're jumping, I don't think you can bonk.
Huh.
Maybe I should just jump all the time. Oh, no, I was wrong. Landed. But no, like if you're needed to cross a corner, it's very easy to like do like a U-turn because the game just reads your new direction and doesn't do anything weird with the sprite like that. All right, this is the last room. Countdown: 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Yeah. Oh, please. 2, and last guy. Ha 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 ha, he says. Only orcs will remain. Oh, please. Nope. That was bad. So sometimes I waited there because sometimes it'll look like he's blocking, but he's actually like about to do his weird backhand attack, and he'll take the hit anyways. So sometimes it's like, oh, it'll just hit him anyways, but no, he actually just backhanded me there. Oh, bad times.
Saucy lad.
Oh. All right, last fight. Again, when he starts to go boom, we end the run, and then we have some nice credits, which, going off of the last run, I think is not like copyrighted music. I wouldn't imagine, but like, I don't know if that matters. None of my streams have ever been taken down for it. I'm assuming whoever owns this game right now doesn't care. We can. Come here. Yeah, that's right. Do the shovel. I also never be able to figure out like if his sword just broke at the end. Can't really tell. It looks broken, but maybe it's just like a cool, flat, paddleboard sword. Or it was a...
Maybe it's just a super awesome and we just don't know it.
Yeah. Oh, masterpiece. And all right. Alrighty. Big boom time. Boom. He is dead and the run is done.
Hi. Yeah, Will.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. It's pretty short. It's just a lot of gameplay. It's probably one of my favorite, like, shorter runs to do. Anything that's like less than 4 hours, I would consider a short run. So I really like it. This was fun. Awesome. But yeah, that was
a really good run and also a really good time. It came in at 1 hour and 1 minute.
No way.
Yep.
Nice. All right. Well, now I just have to top that. So I'm sure it's doable. I didn't feel like I was playing that well. Awesome. I guess
it was very. Yeah, going into the last stage, I was like, I'm not going to say anything, but this is really good.
Yeah, I really didn't expect anything longer than an hour and 5, but I wanted to be sure in case, like, I don't know, Corkscrew murdered me or something. So.
Oh gosh, estimates.
There's an extra live system that we don't even use because like it's bad to die, but like you pick up these little crystals and if you die, you get to try again. But that would have been how we continued, but we don't have to.
No, you did really well. It was really fun to watch.
Well, thanks for having me. This was nerve-wracking but fun.
I'm sorry, you did such a good job though. Like honestly, you did a really good job and like learning so much about the run and about the show. I had a really good time.
Awesome, thank you.
If people wanted to watch your streams, where could they find you at?
Twitch.tv/Murasaki Beanz. I usually stream on Tuesdays and what are my days off? Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, and then if I'm not dead tired after work, I sometimes throw in a late night stream during the week. But we usually do speedruns, or currently I'm casually playing through Final Fantasy VIII for the first time. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a bit of a ride. But it's usually some sort of speedrun, or maybe we're playing a game I've never played before. But usually speedruns, I think.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I super appreciate you joining me. And again, GG on a heck of a PB.
Yeah, it's pretty big actually. So awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Of course.